Conversation, folks. We come to you from Washington, D.C. My name is Ramesh Bhutani.
And I'm Shilpa Alimchandani.
Last week, we saw North Korea declare that they have tested nuclear material. A week before that, it was Iran. They said they tested the missile range, 1,500 miles. If any of these two countries decide to actually carry out the threat, then United States get involved because of South Korea and Japan in that neighborhood and because of Saudi Arabia and Israel in the other neighborhood. Now, that was the backdrop last week under which former Vice President Cheney and President Obama, they had a discussion, a debate. And I really thought, this is my personal opinion, Vice President Cheney, when he says that we need to be strong, there's no compromise, we don't need to make Europe happy or be nice to anyone, we don't need to close the Gitmo and take all of those terrorists and put it in our regular jails right here in the United States. I don't know. What do you think of President Obama saying, let's be nice and let's show the world that we are leaders, that we are moral leaders of the world?
I don't know that diplomacy necessarily means nice. Sometimes diplomacy does mean being somewhat tough. And I also think that it's a real problem that, Dick Cheney, after having so many failed policies under the Bush administration, is continuing to defend them and undermine our current administration that's frankly trying to clean up their mess. So I really don't respect Cheney's arguments. I don't think that they're well-founded. It's a debate, yes. Whether it's a positive debate for our country and for the way foreign policy is going right now, I don't know about that.
There was a whole lot of ink thrown on this particular debate, folks. I saw people come very close to Cheney's side of things, but because President Obama is so popular, they still want to give him benefit of the doubt.
Well, they should. I mean, we've elected him. He's just begun his presidency, and we should see what Hillary Clinton's, foreign policy agenda looks like and what the State Department's able to do that clearly they were so undermined during the Bush administration. They're only now coming back and looking at what diplomacy really means. Very interestingly, this is kind of breaking news this week, was around policy within the State Department. For years, foreign service officers travel abroad, ambassadors, etc., and represent the United States. And if you have a domestic partner to whom you are not married, whether you're, from the same sex or opposite sex, that person, your partner, did not get a lot of the benefits, like being evacuated for medical reasons or security reasons, or having your personal items shipped abroad when your family is moving abroad. Hillary Clinton's about to change all that. They're planning to now extend those same benefits that go to married partners to unmarried partners as well. And I think it is about time.
Well, I think that policy is going to travel down the Pentagon, and I don't know if there's going to be objections to don't ask, don't tell policy. But all of this debate, seeing all these states passing the laws, okay, you can get married, of same sex. Looking at it, I personally feel that they should have every reason to get married. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I mean, is it going to affect the future generation?
I think this is the civil rights campaign agenda of our time, and I think things are changing. I mean, those that are fighting it, frankly, are on the wrong side of history, and eventually these policies will change. We're seeing it change slowly right now.
Another 10 years, I guess we will have that,
We've been talking a lot about Indian elections, and now Prime Minister Manmohan Singh has been sworn in for his second term and has a lot of challenges in front of him. We know there's the economic slowdown, of course, globally that everyone is affected by. But look at foreign policy. Look at our neighbors. In Nepal, the Maoist rebellion seems to have calmed down to some extent, but still not stable there. In Burma, things are heating up once again. In Sri Lanka, we hope that the civil war is finally over. And of course, when we start looking at Pakistan and Afghanistan, we know that things are going to get worse before they get better.
But all four countries, the United States, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and India, they're now sharing intelligence for the very first time. They're actually together to get the Taliban out of Pakistan.
I think you're right in terms of a foreign policy effort, and certainly the Obama administration is very much invested in this part of the world. We know that the Taliban is quite powerful, and I think now that U.S. is building up troops in Afghanistan, that's pushing Taliban even further into Pakistan. So it really is becoming a very challenging situation. But when you think about it on the ground in terms of the people, the humanitarian crisis is kind of beyond our worst nightmare. Now we've got at least 1.6 to 1.7 million displaced people in Pakistan. The United Nations has appealed for a total of $543 million in aid to deal with this crisis. And it really affects us. I mean, we feel for the Pakistani people that are suffering so much because of the violence and have really no place else to go. They've left their homes.
Neighborhood around the world are pretty bad. And that's the reason we need to be strong here in the United States. We should have a very good defense policy, don't you think?
But what strong means, I think, is up for debate.
We are too busy fighting too many places.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be doing that.